May have heard a homosexual talk about this one topic that I'm going to bring up. Did Jesus ever speak about homosexuality? And that's one of the questions that almost a lot of people ask. In Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the answer is no. However, one of the possible scenarios is the reason why, because it wasn't recorded, and there was many things that Jesus spoke about that weren't recorded. Now, I'm not saying go and search up the internet and try and look for those such things, because it just wasn't meant for because it just wasn't meant to be in the Bible. Now, however, Paul, who met Jesus on the road to Damascus, got direct revelation from Jesus. And Paul, like others, spoke against homosexuality or things alike it. And if you put two and two together, if Paul got direct revelation from Jesus by following and obeying him and praying to him, then best chances are, which is, that Jesus opposes homosexuality or gay marriages or anything that's LGBTQ related. And some of you may ask, well, because this is a topic that's so serious or whatever, then why did Jesus never speak about it in the Gospels? The reason for that, most likely, like I said in the beginning, is because it most likely wasn't written or wasn't recorded. But the reason for that, also that it probably wasn't recorded, was because people have their own agendas as to where they want to pervert it into their own way. But there are some people out there who say, well, because Jesus didn't speak about it, therefore homosexuality is okay, disregarding the revelations that Paul, Peter, and many other disciples have gotten. And that's how we have homosexuality partially in the apostasy of Christianity in this modern day. But also, there's hatred, like murder, towards the homosexuals that also Christians have, that some Christians have, and God detests against that, because they would rather the homosexual to not repent and to not get right with Jesus and just go to hell anyway. That is not how we're supposed to be as followers of Jesus. We're not to love the kind of love, which is lust, that homosexuals have towards them, nor are we supposed to have hatred like murder towards the homosexual. We are to tell them about Jesus and tell them that he rebukes against it. And how we know this is because it is by, in spirit and in truth, that he speaks about this. Because since that's the case, because this is the case, Paul spoke about it, and others. And even if the homosexual rejects you for your words that you say, you leave them alone. You don't go any further, because then you yourself could get yourself into some trouble at your job, or not even just your job, but with God. Because if you say if you're outside of the will of Jesus at that point, if you're trying to continue on and on and on, then you can get yourself in trouble with Jesus by sinning and acting like others. Or if you bend the knee and just are conditioned, or I can't even think of the word at the moment, but if you're just if you're just giving up and just saying, okay, homosexuality is okay, I agree with you, then that in itself is not okay. So what I encourage anyone who listens to this message, when you come across this, do as what I said to you, because we can get very carried away by this topic. Now, there are times where we have to be rebukative, but we have to be compassionate, but not the kind where many Christians are doing, that still has a homosexual committing the lusts of their sinful acts of homosexuality as they do. So that is what I have for this message for you guys today. Actually, one more thing. And if you really want to know if Jesus opposes homosexuality, you have to go to him. And I will tell you, he will tell you 100% that this is not, it is not in his will for anyone to be a homosexual. I can guarantee you that. You don't follow the great crowd that many say that, oh, God is okay with homosexuality, or because God is a God of love, then we should conform. We should do as what God does is love. But yet God's love will not stop anyone from him sending anyone to hell. So that is the message I have for you today. May Jesus bless you.